Okay, what happened? I was coming home and it just came to me. Don't judge your core essence, which means at this point, don't judge your core essence at a time when you only need yourself, when you only need your inner self, when you don't want any fucking company. You don't want to deal with people, you don't want to share your time with anybody. You do not need a company, meaning you are perfectly fine at times with self, with your inner self. And this comes all of a sudden, suddenly, there is no warning, there is no nothing. It's this particular phase is here to be here for you and here for your essence, for your core, and meaning for your soul, for your source, etc., for your God, because that's what you are, for your giant. You need to be here. And this comes very suddenly, uh, without any warning. I mean, it's just we are in the dark night, and this is where we just accept ourselves. We just love who I am right fucking now. That is enjoying the now moment. I allow myself to be who I am in this now. And in this now, in this phase, I am here for myself, not for you, you idiot, or not for you, you fucking little narcissistic person who wants an attention, and not for you fucking idiots who are bored out of your head, or who need somebody to entertain you, or I don't know, just to take your mind off of yourself, and all those people who want to escape in that sense, that phase, that phase of themselves or whatever it is, and then they want to grab you, but somehow we sense it, like we sense even more than prior to that. And for that, we are, and if somebody does not want to respect that, there is no respect for something like that. There is no respect, because when I feel that you do not respect my time and my beingness, my wants in that moment, which is I don't want anybody, I don't need you for anything, and I do not, definitely don't need you for any fucking thing. I don't even need you. I don't even need any one of you. So when you are in that state, and when you are in that self needing, because this is exactly what it is, you actually sense that I need myself. Of course, there is the old program and there is the new program, and the old program is overlapping the new program. And that's kind of like in that phase, you're not just influenceable, but you also are in another timeline where you gave your time away to people when they wanted you to be somebody else than you were in that moment, and you have a lot of unresolved anger and a lot of unresolved issues and a lot of unresolved emotions, which is coming up to the surface. And this is and they're really released um, so suddenly. It's like, for example, I am with somebody, I'm having an okay time, I'm relaxed, I'm okay, and then bam, it's like it's cutting that person out in that fucking second. Okay, I gotta go, and I have to go, and I have to be with myself. I don't want my mother, I don't want anybody, I don't want my brother, I don't want anybody, I don't want a fucking idiot who's flapping their lips with useless crap. It's useless. I mean, absolutely useless. I wish people were speaking as much as a cat. Because cat, and plus also the cat is our greatest, how can I say this, leader in that sense, a teacher. It's really, that's why all of the star seeds in that sense have cats, and all the feline races, and all that, whatever, they are perfect, because when they don't need you, you can scream their name, you can do whatever you want, you can stand on your head, and they don't give a flying fuck. This is how you have to be. This is exactly how you don't have to be. Don't misunderstand me. If you're not in this state, if you're still in the outwordy thing, in your outgoingness part, whatever, you're still in the human phase of your life, and you're not in the dark night, you're not in in the introvert phase, you're not in your moon, you're not in your feminine energy, all that, you don't have to do any of this. Okay, so let's not misunderstand me. So you use your own guidance. But if you sense something like that, and if you really, really, in that sense, sense that, okay, and it's very interesting because it's coming up. It's like it's all of a sudden it's coming up. It's coming up to the surface, and I can feel it. I can immediately feel it, and if when I catch it right away, and when I'm really, basically, you are only going to uh, be awakened to your core essence, which means you are vigilant enough in that moment and observant enough, and you're watching yourself, you're watching what you are feeling. What am I feeling? What is coming up? And it's not that you have to, in that sense, control it. You don't control that shit, because you do not want to keep having those senses and those emotions being stuck. So you want to allow them to resurface in order to release them. So real ease, release, real ease is you only gain ease by releasing them. So when they resurface, you face them, and you allow to give yourself the moment, or whatever time you need, whatever you need to be able to face that, and really allow yourself to be with you. Okay, because in the old times, in an old life, in an old fucked up shit, or maybe even in this life, who the fuck knows, it's like you never know which part is coming up from what time and what timeline and what dimensions, and which part of your fragmented soul you are facing again, because it was a trauma, it was something where you did not do what you really wanted to do at that time, at that timeline, at that dimension, at whatever, in that reincarnation. Maybe it was already in this life, you don't know, because we are not cleaning, purging, cleansing, like, in sequence. Okay, now we started out like in the beginning. No, it's like it depends what's coming up. So sometimes you're allowing yourself to, sometimes things comes up with your family dynamic stuff, whatever. Other times it comes up with something really like insane. For example, there are like those times when I hate people, meaning like I hate every fucking human. I have to really face that, and I have to be able to bring that to the surface and be able to release it, not act on it, not to react on it, or not to fucking go out with a chainsaw and cut somebody. No, 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 no. It's a huge no. But you have to deal with the emotions, and you have to be able to release the emotions, and you have to be able to feel the emotion. Okay? So it's very important that you allow yourself to do those things. Plus, a lot of times, um, and a lot of times we judge ourselves. Why? Because that judgment is based on old fucked up spiritual dogmas, religions, all the fucked up shit that we experienced in other lifetimes, in other reincarnation, in other uh, traumas, whatever we were doing, you know. So a lot of those things has to be processed, and it's very, very difficult. A lot of times you face fears, a lot of times because, I mean, face it, you face that, you know, you always, and all those, and especially if you are here and you are at, at your culmination of your lifetimes, it's really like wrapping up 26,000 years of unresolved crap, because every time you had a trauma, you have been fragmented. You have been fragmented. And you know, this is why every time that you are dealing with those emotions, very important that you know how to be. And it just came up, like, don't judge yourself, because, I mean, everybody is like, oh, don't judge somebody else. Who the fuck gives a shit about anybody else? I'm here to clear and really heal myself, and I'm here to watch me and observe me, and really going through all those uh, big, huge phases of the culmination of all of my lifetimes. And this is why I'm here. This is why I came. This is what I have to do. And there is nothing else that I have to do. So, and of course, you know, at that point where I am, it all those things are happening every day. I don't know how many times. It's like every hour. It's like, so I'm in that sense, and who are also here for the culmination of all of their lifetimes, and they're dealing and releasing and refacing and resurfacing their cell memories. They are doing this very often. Okay, we are doing this very often, which means some people might feel something every half a year. Some people, whatever, does not feel anything. They're still immersed in illusion. They are in their human part. The others feel it, I don't know, every month. The others are feeling it every week, let's say weekly. The other people have, I don't know, every 3 days. And really, the fast ones really speeded up uh, awakening people, meaning to themselves, to their real and core essence. They are doing the insane work. It's every hour of fucking every day. And this is it's a speeded up phase. It's speeding up. It's like very fast. Sometimes I have days when, I mean, it's like constant, never stops. Then I have those when it goes for 3 days, like for 3 day terms, and it's like holy shit. It's like, oh my god. And then of course I get a little break, but I still have some, but not as intense as like the 3 day ones. But but in comparison to the 3 day ones, it's very easy. I have to tell you that it's beautiful, and I get a little breather, and then again it starts again. So it's like very, 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 very fucking incredible. Okay, so I mean, if you are doing that every day, you are on a you are on a speeded up um, awakening things. You are really doing it like crazily. You are healing yourself tremendously. But I mean, it's very hard to really explain that. I really mention it every time because it's an amazing movie. If you did not watch it, please go and watch After Jimmy. In the first two or three little segments, there's the 14 pieces together, the full movie, and and it really shows. Although unfortunately they don't tell you more of it, but that is exactly how he felt. I know it. It's like I get, in that sense, we get informations by watching something. We get the feelings, we get a lot of things. It's like, I had to laugh because the other day I was looking at um, I don't know, something on Facebook, and they say, oh, they are teaching people empathy. How the fuck are you teaching empathy? If you are not an empath and if you don't feel empathy, forget it. Okay, it's like, again, some human crap, human uh, beliefs that they can do crap like that. Forget it. Okay, so but anyway, as we know, and as I also have an electronic flyer, I don't know when I did it, like 2 years ago, 1 year ago, it doesn't matter. In that sense, the toxic thing, uh, as I said, empaths are as toxic as anybody else, just they're wounded just differently. Okay. And I have two people in gas mask, like toxic people, and it's exactly. But by the time you will be able to see yourself, you are always going to be in the dark night. Before the dark night, you have no fucking idea who you are, and you will not be able to see your true core self, because you have to dig deep enough to be able to see yourself and all that. So anyway, I hope this video helps to those who are in that phase, who are in this particular uh, uh, space in that sense, to be awakened to your core essence, to your source, to your soul. And it's actually, this whole thing is done by um, done by your soul. The soul is leading, as I said 2 years ago, the multidimensional is leading the physical, and not the other way around. Okay, and the soul is leading, and you control shit. Okay, so you have to, in that sense, to be able to completely surrender. But it's not easy, because when all those things come up, you feel yourself in that particular phase, in that particular dimension, in that particular timeline, and it's like, holy fuck, right? So it's not easy to be the watcher while it's happening, because we are actually in the morphogenetic field in that moment. So it's amazing experience, and it's fucking exhausting and fucking incredible. Okay, so anyway, I hope it was understood. What I've noticed, that during the dark night, my communication got really screwed up. I could not really say what I wanted to say, but it's actually it's getting better. It's kind of like, why? Because at the same time, in the dark night of the soul, we are synchronizing the left and right brain hemisphere, which is the masculine and feminine, and then also the rational and the spiritual, and etc., etc. And and in that sense, at that time, our communication, the speaking, is in that sense lacking the versatility of our communication. I mean, I was very verbal before, but I see that it's improving. It's in that sense coming back, but you also have to accept that right now this is what you are. And it's so funny because I remember I was very verbal, and I don't know, like 5 years ago, I was watching Byron Katie, whatever, with her stuff, and I was wondering why she cannot. It's like she cannot talk, she cannot really, and why is that? And I was like, why? I understand now why. Okay, because when you go through all these things, there will be certain, in that sense, partial, uh, in that sense, setbacks until your whole thing comes back online, synchronized and balanced. But we are processing, we are during the processing of our uh, core essence. We are really like left and right brain and back and forth, and it's just a lot of things happening during this time. And it's this is why you feel like you don't feel like going anywhere, you don't want to be with anybody, you know, like one moment to the other, it's coming, you feel like crying, you are sad, you are mad, you are everything. I mean, all the emotions are, you are right now in your pain body. That is the astral realm. It is the darkest fucking shit. And whatever you put there, whatever fear or whatever anything you put there during 26,000 years, and all the fragmentations, you have to be able to pick up, cleanse, purge, and then really go to the next phase. There are so many initiations on this path that I cannot even, And while we are going through it, we understand it. So I'm sure, because I've been shown my future many times, I'm sure one day I will be able to really, really communicate it well, the process of the processing and these phases that we're going through, and 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 it will be an amazing thing. Okay, well, thank you very much for listening. Bye.